Hey Frag fam, Corbin here again from Northwest Scent. Well, it's Monday, which means it is time for my weekly fragrance haul video. This is week number 2, and this week I actually got 4 fragrances in, so a little bit bigger of a haul than last week. Additionally, I got 2 discontinued fragrances in. I got one that was previously discontinued, but to my knowledge, I guess they brought it back. And then there's also a really high-end niche fragrance, one that I've been eyeballing for a long time. So all in all, I thought it was a pretty good haul. If you guys are interested in hearing about these fragrances, please stick around. But first, let's roll that intro. All right, welcome back. So we're gonna dive straight into the list. Again, 4 fragrances in, 2 discontinued, 1 previously discontinued fragrance, and then a nice high-end niche fragrance. So just like last week, basically the structure of this is I'm gonna start in ascending order. So I'm gonna start with the fragrance that I obtained first, all the way until the most recent fragrance that I got in. So starting us off on Tuesday, I actually got 2 of the fragrances in on the same day, but I'm just gonna start with the first one that I opened up. This one is from Liz Claiborne, and it's called Candies. So I'm not really too familiar with the whole idea behind this fragrance. Apparently the original was really hard to find, like as of current. It was an old cheapie, but I guess it got discontinued and bottles were selling for a few $100s on eBay. Even in the groups, you would see a bottle sell for like $200 for the 100 milliliter size. So I was never too familiar with that, but I read into it and it did sound like a really nice fragrance. And then recently on Fragrance Buy, they had a stock of these right here, which is actually a different bottle style, but it is still called Candies. So to my knowledge, this is still the same exact fragrance, different packaging. I guess it's a re-release. Nonetheless, I was able to pick it up, and I don't know if it's still available. If it is, I will link it down below if you guys are interested in getting a bottle for yourself. I think I paid $30 for this with shipping. So, you know, I wanted to get this ever since I heard that it was discontinued. It sounded really nice. As far as what this fragrance is about, the 4 main notes are watermelon, coriander, grapefruit, and then some green leaf notes. Now, to me, this was kind of a familiar DNA, and I've never smelled this fragrance, at least to my knowledge. Basically, kind of what I ended up comparing it to was, I used to have this Hollister body spray back like in middle school, and I honestly forgot the name. If I can find it, I'll put it on screen. But it immediately reminded me of that, kind of blending with a little bit of Abercrombie & Fitch Fierce, and then like a leafy note on top of that. So not quite a clone of either of those, but it smelled almost like a blend of those, like I said, with this leafiness. So very fruity, crisp, a little bit spicy, and it has this leafiness in the background, which for me was really easy to pick up. It almost came across like a tomato leaf note, if you've ever smelled that. I don't know which green leaf notes that they're referring to are in this fragrance, but again, that's all they say. So to me, like I said, Abercrombie & Fitch Fierce blended with this Hollister body spray I used to have, and then a little bit of this green leafy note, which to me smells like tomato leaf. Honestly, this is just like your run-of-the-mill blue fragrance. There's nothing really special here, at least to my nose. It is nice, and I don't regret picking it up. This is something I can definitely see myself wearing, but more just a dumb reach fragrance, or maybe something out of the shower, just something where I want to smell nice and fresh, but nothing to stand out really. So again, my first pickup of the week, that was Liz Claiborne Candies. So my next pickup of the week was the other fragrance that I got on Tuesday along with Liz Claiborne Candies, the previous fragrance. This is one of the 2 discontinued fragrances that I got, and I was really hyped when I saw this thing for sale. I immediately jumped on it and bought it. This is one that I've actually been hunting down for a while. This one is from Versace, and it is the original Versace Man. And I've heard good things about this fragrance, so I did have some high expectations for it, but I wasn't ready for the complexity that this fragrance had. I don't mean that in a bad way. It was definitely welcome. I was just expecting something a little bit more along the mainstream side, you know, basically the stuff that Versace is putting out nowadays. I probably should have known better since this came out almost 20 years ago. But again, this was a lot more complex than I honestly expected. So according to Fragrantica, the dominant notes of this one are saffron, tobacco, amber, and the cardamom. I definitely get that tobacco and then that saffron. Although for me, what's more dominant than the cardamom and the amber is the angelica and the black pepper in this fragrance. So you see angelica in fragrances like Prada Luna Rosa Black, provides this kind of dark, woody, almost rooty kind of smell. And I really get that here in this fragrance. I can definitely see the similarity between that one and this one. Again, I'm not saying they're the same fragrance, but just that particular note which stands out in Prada Luna Rossa Black, I can pick up really easily in this fragrance. The tobacco is definitely there front and center. It's a nice kind of dried leaf tobacco. Not super syrupy sweet, but not like smoky, not like a lit cigarette kind of tobacco either. Just a really nice, complex, masculine tobacco note. The saffron here, to me, does come across a little bit more Eastern, which I do really like, that kind of spicy, cherried Eastern vibe you can get from saffron. So I think it works really well in this fragrance. Again, just a nice, complex designer fragrance. It's really sad that this one's been discontinued, but I was able to find it. I think I grabbed it for about $70 shipped on Facebook. So again, I had to jump on that. This is a really nice fragrance, so a nice addition to my discontinued fragrances in my collection. So again, the next pickup was Versace Man, the original. So my third pickup of the week came in on Friday, so a few days after my previous two. This is the niche fragrance I was talking about, and this is one that I've been looking forward to getting for a long time. I was really hyped when I was able to buy it for a good price. This was a limited run that I missed out on, and it got so much praise that they actually did bring it back, and I was able to get a bottle from this new release. This one is from Xerjoff Casa Marati, and it's called Italica. And this actually literally blew me away. This was such an amazing fragrance upon first impressions. I didn't really know what to expect. I hadn't read into the notes too much. I just knew it was a gourmand fragrance. And like I said, this actually exceeded my expectations, which were already really high because of all the hype I had heard behind this fragrance. So I ended up picking up a tester for a better buy than the full presentation, which I'm totally okay with, especially since this one has the cap and then the little tassel here as well. But because it's a tester, they actually have the notes right here on the back, which you can see. So top notes are saffron, milk, bergamot, mandarin orange, and then green apple. Mid notes are vanilla, toffee, and tonka bean. And then the base notes are white musks, sandalwood, incense, and then amber. And to me, the most dominant note is toffee, and it's a very realistic toffee note. If you've ever had toffee, you know how it tastes and how it smells. And to me, this is very realistic. It smells very legitimate. You also get this extreme creaminess coming from that milk note along with the sandalwood. I'm pretty sure for the milk note, they're using some kind of almond accord, giving you that kind of creamy vibe. But like I said, the sandalwood contributes to that. And then there's a nice creamy vanilla in here as well, which is a little bit more on the spicy side. So a very, very, very creamy fragrance, very sweet and spicy, has this kind of caramely touch from that toffee. It's just an amazing gourmand fragrance. Not only that, it's quite wearable at the same time. I think sometimes gourmands can be a little bit hard to pull off because they're so dense and just heavy that you have to really reserve them for very specific situations. This is one that I just find, based on the smell, a lot easier to wear. So a great pickup of the week. Definitely one you guys should check out while it is currently available. I don't know if this new release is permanent or if it's gonna be another limited run, but definitely an amazing fragrance. One of the best I've tried from Xerjoff. So again, my third pickup of the week, that was Xerjoff Casa Marati Italica. So my final pickup of the week I got on Saturday, which is yesterday from when I'm filming this video, but 2 days ago from when I'm actually posting it. So this is the other discontinued fragrance I was talking about for this list. And this is one that I was actually able to go out and find in person at a rack store. I was out rack store hunting on Saturday looking for a few fragrances, and this was actually one of the fragrances I was out looking for specifically. This one is from Mont Blanc, and this is Starwalker. And this is, honestly, it was a pleasant surprise. I wasn't really sure what to expect. I knew it was a fresh fragrance and that it had bamboo in it. You don't see bamboo used a ton in fragrance. I was like, that sounds really intriguing. I want to get something like that in my collection, and that was part of the reason I was after this. Obviously, not to mention the discontinuation. So another reason just to get it. I was able to pick this up for, I think, $19.99, which for this 50 milliliter size, that seems like a pretty good deal to me. So I went for it. And like I said, this has bamboo in it, and there's also some other fresher notes in here. You get bergamot, there's some white musks, and then there's a fir resin in the base, which gives us a nice green touch. If you're kind of looking for a comparison for what this smells like, and I didn't really know what to expect, but right when I sprayed it on, this reminded me of Versace Man Eau Fresh, but not the exact same. I would say probably 80 to 90% similar. That fragrance is very sharp, very citrusy, and it actually does have a spiciness riding down underneath. This one basically removes the spiciness and rounds off the edges. It is a lot smoother. So a smoother version of Versace Mano Fresh without the spiciness, and then there's that calming bamboo note in there, which is really nice. Also, in the dry down, about 30 minutes in, you get this kind of green feel, which again comes from that fir balsam. So a really nice, fresh summer fragrance. I think this is just as fresh and just as fitting for the hot weather as Versace Mano Fresh, and that is still a great fragrance as well. I wouldn't quite call this redundant because there are just enough differences to separate it, but it is quite similar. So if you're kind of on the edge about getting this and you maybe like Versace Mano Fresh, I would say go for it because they do have those similarities. So again, my last pickup of the week, that was Mont Blanc Star Walker. Well, there you guys go. Those were my 4 new fragrance pickups of the week. All of these were enjoyable for me, although definitely my favorite was the Xerjoff Italica. That fragrance is amazing. Regardless of it being the most expensive fragrance in this haul, I think it was definitely the most worth it personally for me. But again, like I said, I enjoyed all of these quite a bit. Additionally, be sure to let me know down in the comments what you guys had as new arrivals in your collection for this week. So if you guys enjoyed this video, I would really appreciate dropping a like just to show your support, and then that way more people can see my videos on YouTube. Additionally, if you want to write a comment, just let me know your thoughts, as well as maybe some new video ideas or topics. That would be great too. And since you're down there doing all that stuff, if you've not already, if you could hit the subscribe button and then the bell notification, that would be amazing. That way you stay up to date on new videos whenever they get released going forward. But with all that out of the way, that's all I really have for you guys today. So I hope you have a good one. Stay healthy, stay wealthy, and smell great.